So I'd like to show you two different ways that you can solve the equation a minus f equals d. The first way, and I'm not sure which way is going to be more popular with students, but the first way, if you're solving for f, and that's the idea here, we're going to solve for f, is we could subtract an a from both sides of the equation. When I subtract an a minus a gives me 0, and I'm left with negative f equals d minus a. Now that's negative 1f. We can think of that as being a negative 1f. So now I got to get that negative 1 out of there, so I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides of the equation by negative 1. So this gives me negative d plus a. Let me back up for a second and say this. When I divide both sides by negative 1, I get d over negative 1 minus a over negative 1. Well, d over negative 1 is negative d minus a over negative 1. That's minus a negative a. So this becomes negative d plus a, or I could write that as a minus d. Now the second way that we can solve this is some people just like to add the f right away to both sides. Now again, remember, we're solving for f. So in some ways this might make sense to people, but in other ways it won't. But it's not illegal to do this. So I can say d plus f, and now I can simply subtract a d from both sides, and I get a minus d equals f. Notice that no matter what, I get the same answer both times.